Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another high level best of 5. Today we have the #1 Protoss in the world currently, the man who's been innovating left, right and center. It's none other than herO. And in the top right as our blue Terran player, playing for team GGG, Good Game Gaming, very mannered, it's of course Dream. By the way, he's in fantastic physical shape, not many people are aware of this. Dream's someone that loves to work out, and it shows. He went to the gym with a couple of the foreign players at the Intel Extreme Masters, and all of the foreign players were rather impressed by the shape that he was in. Not just aesthetically, but also the strength that he had. So it's a little bit of, a fun fact there. And not many people will hear that. Dream's good looking, alright? He works out hard. herO, of course, the smiling assassin, known for his lovely but very deadly smile. He's not quite aware yet, I think, of this eBay on his natural. Sometimes herO, it's kind of funny. So, when a Terran goes in for an eBay block, the thing that they want to force out of the Protoss is a second gas, is a second pylon before that Nexus, and it is just a Zealot, which I think is going to be the case here for herO with an opener like this. herO does all of this without being forced into it. He just wants to play these builds. He finds them fun. He wants to be aggressive. He likes being on the map. With this, he's going to get a very quick Stargate as well. That's going to allow him to instantly either start Oracle or Phoenix production. I've seen it both out of him. And he's someone that feels very comfortable in these situations. You ask this to a different Protoss player, and these TOS players will say, well, actually, I have way worse eco than usually. Sure, my Stargate is 10 seconds faster, but how much is that really worth? Like, what is the actual value of that? Oh, that's a cancel on the Zealot. A cancel on the Zealot means that this eBay is never going to get taken down in a million years, is it? I don't think it will. That is an issue. That is a major issue right now here for herO. He'll have to take a base on the 3rd, starts a battery as well, should cancel it. I think he cancelled it instantly the moment he saw that Marine. Oh, don't want to be losing that probe. Do like the control on that probe though, making sure that there is indeed a Marine rather than a Reaper first. Marine into reactor, into factory, delayed command center. The command center is on the high ground, of course delayed, because we have that fast scout with the eBay block and it cost a decent chunk of cash. SCV is moving in right now and we'll see that there is indeed a 3rd base here. First adept is first adept is out already, and will be bumping his head into this wall and not get very much information, honestly. First Phoenix is being chrono boosted out as well. I do like that type of move. Fast Phoenix production off of a build order like this. You're going to get an extremely high Phoenix count quite rapidly when your Stargate goes down. It was at 203, 204 or so. You'll get really fast Phoenixes. That initial scout is also going to hit extremely fast. Now, that means that this is kind of a trade-off for a Protoss, by the way. So, you're showing the tech to your opponent, and at the same time, you're also seeing your opponent's tech. And I think often for Protoss, it is worth it, but there are scenarios in which this isn't the case. I think in this scenario, I'm not actually sure if it was worth it. However, Dream, seeing the double gas and the second pylon in the main, probably was aware that it was most likely going to be a Phoenix, so maybe you're not even revealing too much. It's really difficult to tell sometimes how Terrans think in certain situations. That makes it difficult for Protoss to know what to show to the Terran. First 3 Phoenixes are out, and herO still declining the opportunity to kill this eBay. Instead, we'll get a Twilight Council, so perhaps we'll be heading into like a 4 or 5 gate charge lot attack with a bunch of Phoenixes, because we still have that constant Phoenix production. Not chrono boosted anymore, but perhaps in the future we might see another chrono boost there. Double worker production as well here for herO, as Dream right now is landing his natural. That means that his double worker production can start as well, and the double muling has already been going on for a while. Charge starts, do we get it? No chrono, okay. You do you, buddy, you do you. We have a 3rd gateway on the way, so we see a probe moving in position to try and take a 3rd base on a pretty odd location. It's a location we don't see every single day. Phoenixes haven't achieved anything yet, by the way, but as the Phoenix count grows, you always have the opportunity to trade against Marines. You're building Marines 2 at a time, and you have to split these off as well in about an even manner. if you try to engage with adepts and the Phoenixes show up while you're trying to engage the adepts, sometimes the Phoenixes can just pick up all Marines on one side, and that could be kind of bad, honestly. Phoenixes are going to try and move in right now and will realize that it's not possible. Another tank on the way. Not quite sure what I feel about this continued tank production. Tanks don't feel super great against high Phoenix counts. I think you'd much rather have mines often, because high Phoenix counts often are an indicator of charge lots, especially in this type of scenario where the eco just isn't that brilliant. I think it's something we see quite often. Going into Colossi from this position would be really difficult for herO. You just don't really have the gas for that initially with such a late second base. Here come the Phoenixes. This was 8 Marines, no, 7 Marines maybe. And this was 6 Phoenixes. And we see 3 SCVs going down, as well as the 7 Marines, and not a single Phoenix falling. This is painful because losing these Marines will actually make it harder to continue having a solid defense. Right now we see that all these Marines are just in a giant chunk. If Dream decides to split off these Marines again, look at that. Look how vulnerable these bad boys are. These are 8 Marines. There's currently 7 Phoenixes or so. 2 Marines get picked off. Jump on the Vikings as well. I think 1 Phoenix actually ended up falling there. A second Phoenix goes down. Oh, I thought it was 3 actually. But just 2 Phoenixes falling for now against 2 Vikings and 2 Marines. Does mean that the Marine split is going to be really important. These Marines in a little bit of trouble, I think. I really do believe that herO can just engage into this. That's not enough Marines here on the right side. herO not keen on it though. Instead we'll get the free pickup on the medevac. Sees a couple of Marines spawn from the barracks. We'll lift up the SCVs as well. And we just see continued aggression here coming out of the Korean Protoss player with a gateway already on the map. Extra gas is being taken here on the 3rd base. We see a forge on the way. This is such a high Phoenix count. 9 Phoenix, 10 Phoenix on the way. Double forge at the worst location possible. I don't think it's really going to matter though, because herO is has such a huge lead. Combat shield isn't quite done yet. And this is kind of the timing where Dream wants to move out, and this is the timing where herO wants to move in. There's 10 Phoenixes, these Marines are chasing right now, charge lots moving in, and I just don't think there's enough Marines right now. 10 Phoenixes against 4 Marines. GG gets called, and herO wins game number 1 with some fantastic Phoenix control. And just like that, we're in game number 2. Where Dream probably wasn't even feeling that poor after that early game. He's like, okay, your 3rd base is off position. Your natural was kind of late, and let's face it, herO's 3rd base also was quite late. But Dream losing these 7 Marines for free because of a poor initial army split really cost him. The moment you lose these initial 7 Marines, the next 4 Marines are going to be easier to pick off as well for the Phoenixes. The Phoenix is just an extremely snowbally unit in this matchup, and well, we see herO make use of it absolutely brilliantly. In that type of case, I wouldn't have minded like a single Cyclone in that natural, or majority of the Marines going towards the natural, while less Marines are in the main. Right now the split was, I think, 15 Marines in the main, or 13 Marines in the main with 2 Vikings, and only 7 Marines in the natural. You need to constantly, as a Terran, re-evaluate the unit split that you have, to see if you're capable of really stopping the Phoenixes from lifting 5, 6, 7 Marines and making life really difficult for the Terran. Now, this is a single gas opener here out of Dream, who's so far not scouting. SCV ready. Could still get a scout after the barracks, but wouldn't mind if he stays at home. herO here with a very fast scout. I think this was a pylon scout and is doing his best to harass the Terran. Of course, cost a little bit of money as well. And we see that core go down immediately on the side of herO. Does not want to be taking any risk here in the early game. Wants to get a little bit of control. And this is typical herO, right? Just getting the control of the map. Being annoying, throwing units in your opponent's face. That is as herO as it gets, I would say. First Marine is popping out. It's not showing its face yet. This is kind of scary as a Protoss, because now you don't have the information that you'd ideally want. You really don't. So you could be thinking that this is a Reaper. Might even build a battery in the main base because of that. So the Marine pops out at 146, but if a Terran doesn't send the machine, that's his name, Mario the Machine. It's not a Marine, the Marine Machine. Now, if you don't send the the Marine down to stop the probe from attacking the SCV, the Protoss needs to either sacrifice the probe up the ramp or needs to hope that it is indeed a Reaper. If it is a Marine like here, you can end up making a battery and looking like an idiot because there's no Reaper on the way. Follow-up is going to be 3 Rex here for Dream. Basically what I wanted to say is that this is a good start right now for Dream. I have Mario selected over here. Look at this. Oh. Mario's gonna get hit by the Adept as well as by the probe. And if a probe hits a Marine, then an Adept can 2-shot that Marine. But we also saw this SCV actually putting in some work. The new machine! The SCV! Sonny. Yeah, it's a sick name for a machine. The machine is also a good nickname, by the way. I always liked it when Innovation was called the machine, because of his machine-like mechanics. And also because in English his personality was often considered a bit robot-like. But I think that didn't have much to do with his personality and more with the fact that his English wasn't great. It's really difficult to be funny and, you know, charismatic if you don't speak a language very well. It wouldn't surprise me if French people would also consider me a machine or very robot-like if I would be speaking French. Never thought that was entirely fair to Innovation, but then again, it is also, especially because Inno seemed pretty fun whenever there were Korean interviews. Seemed like he had some interesting opinions on balance, StarCraft 2 in general, and life. Always fun to listen to. 2 SCVs here get taken out by this Oracle. His control is the best, period. There's no one better at Oracle control in the world than herO. herO is extremely good at a lot of things, and one of these things is Oracle control. It's actually crazy to watch him micro this stuff. Almost never flies into mines either. He makes them glide in a way that I just don't really see that often. I know that a lot of people have good Oracle control, but herO's control really stands out. However, he could be in a little bit of trouble as there's a bunch of Marines moving across the map. Well, this is like 10 Marines. It's not entirely an entire army here. This is just... These Oracles are almost capable of beating it. There's actually no units at home, though. There's 1 Stalker. There's a 2nd Stalker being warped in. This Oracle moves home as well. There's Combat Shield. Okay, this is 12 Marines. There's no battery done yet. 9 workers have just fallen. I mean, Dream needs to stim in right now. He needs to stim in and he needs to kill 15 workers. If he does not do that, he is absolutely dead. There's 4 Stalkers here. We see the stim in. Battery finishes up. Super Battery gets activated. And just like that, I think that this game... Oh, no Super Battery yet? Hello? Can we get a Super Battery? No, perhaps not. I think this game is actually over. 43 workers against 33. There is a 2nd push. And there are still 3 Oracles as well, but... I don't know, Kev. No Blink yet. Twilight is done. We see Blink start right now. If these Marines can trade out for like 2 Oracles, maybe I dig it. Maybe I dig it. But if they can't trade out against anything? No, this is a bad position. hero's going to try and cut off the Marines. No, he's just going to move across the map. That means that there's still a run-by available on the map right now. 3 more Stalkers get morphed in. Warped in. My apologies. It's not a Zerg player. Disgusting. Bunker gets thrown down as well. Marine Marauders are stimming. Don't forget, these Stalkers do not actually have Blink. That might make life a little bit more difficult. These 3 Stalkers should be capable of cleaning up this little Marine army at least. Pylon gets taken out. 1 Stalker might fall, but even that is kind of debatable. No. Stalker stays alive with 2 HP. 1 kill. This Stalker has 5 kills, man. This is a bad boy. Whew. 5 kills. Good lord. Confirmed kill as well. Very impressive. 3 kills on this bad boy. What are these Oracles up to? 2 kills, 8 kills, and 9 kills. Successful Oracles as well. Add all of these numbers together. I think you get, what, 19 kills total? 8, 9, and 2. That sounds about correct. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 9, 19. Robotics facility here on the way in the natural. We also have a forge. And 3 more gateways. Blink plus 1. herO playing what herO likes to play. With Blink Stalkers and Stargate units. Risky Blink. Very risky Blink. Is this a viable trade? What? Why did he move away? Was afraid of being sniped down by these Stalkers maybe, but now he loses every single unit in the main base. This felt like such a risky move. but it's paying off once again. Everything herO does seems to... Well, actually, did this pay off? Lose every single unit in the end. Oh, this was crap, wasn't it? Oh, that was not good. Kills a lot of units, but the eco isn't great. The map control is completely lost. There's no vision whatsoever. Look at that. Look how blind herO is. The fact that he's moving across the map with 3 stalkers at this point means that he's a bit wild. It is actually crazy. I'd be so afraid of 2 medevacs entering my main base. Even if it's only with 4 marauders and 5 marines. Like, you're in trouble. Yeah, we immediately see a 5-stalker warping in the main. This is... Yeah, this makes a lot of sense to me. This is very, very sensical. Sensical? A nonsensical play. So the opposite would be a sensical play. Sensible. This is a sensible play. I think. Yeah. The problem just is there's no vision. There's no vision, and this is an army that you need to deal with. +1 is about to finish up. No, it's not actually. That's still 20 seconds or so away from finishing. Tank is here. Single battery with a pylon. Stalker is almost going to go down for free. Is there concussive shells? Yes, there is. It's a lot of Stalkers, but there's also a lot of Marauders, and Marauders are fantastic against Stalkers. Pylon is going to get targeted down. It means that there's no more super healing going on. Charcoals are moving in. At the same time, we have 2 Zealots destroying a couple of SCVs on that 3rd base. But the tank is still going absolutely ham. More Zealots being warped in. What's the current gate count? It's at 10. 1 gate of those 10 is unpowered though. Another gate is on the way. This is a really good trade for Dream. Dream is practically winning the game over here. Another Stalker warp in. Battery is empty at this point. +1 against 1-1 in favor of Dream. It is 46 army supply against 15. And that is not good at all here for the Korean Protoss player herO, who I think is about to die within the next few seconds. I thought that Dream was completely dead after this early game, losing like 9 workers to the Oracles, then not dealing any damage whatsoever with the 3 Rex, but it seems that as long as the Protoss isn't allowed to probe up too much, it's actually kind of playable here for Terran. 3 more Zealots are being warped in. Super battery is available. Is going to get popped here immediately as well. This feels okay. This feels okay for herO for now. Obviously, he's still in an extremely losing position. But Dream needs to be careful attacking into super batteries. We have another pylon on the way. The battery just ran out. There's 3 sentries as well, so a couple of force fields are available. Not quite sure if we want to be moving out here. Force field, force field, force field. This is a good choke to force field in. Can we get the force field? No, we can't. 141 supply. Armory on the way. Ghost Academy on the way. I saw 2 Liberators were being produced as well. There they go. Flying in. We have another triple Zealot run by. Prism also flying in towards the main base. This perhaps gives some opportunities for herO to deal some damage to the other side of them. Have good force fields as well. Zealots going ham. Super battery, are you available? No, you are not. 3 more Zealots going in towards the main base. 2 SCVs died at the 3rd as well. And I do believe that at this point, if Dream doesn't return back home right now, it's just going to pick up the game. This Liberator position can't really be broken, even with a super battery. There's 2 mines in the back of this as well. Actually, there's 4 mines, excuse me. Every single Zealot is going to get blasted over the face of this earth. Only 7 SCVs going down on the Terran side of things. And that means that, well, once these medevacs get to healing these Marauders, this should still be over. There's no tech here for herO. herO is trying to survive to what? To dying in a minute from now. He's like fighting to stay into a game in which he inevitably will lose. It is impossible for him. Like, he can stay alive temporarily for a very long time, maybe for another minute, minute and a half. But eventually the music will stop and he'll still be caught dancing on the floor. And no one wants to be dancing when the music stops, my friend. And the lights turn on. That is not what you want. Always gotta leave before the lights get on. Seems like herO hasn't gotten that message. More Stalkers being warped in. Super battery not available for another 30-ish seconds or so. Medevacs are falling a little bit lower. There's so many mines. These Liberators are way too far back, not contributing whatsoever in this fight. It seems like Dream doesn't even care. A couple of Zealots actually dealing a lot of damage on the other side. And now herO all of a sudden is outmining his opponent. It feels like Dream is completely neglecting the defense at home in favor of killing the opponent, but he's not really killing the opponent. I still think that herO is just dead though. 16 workers have gone down over the past minute or so. Prism, oh, still alive with 4 Zealots in it. Probes are getting pulled right now. That means that maybe this can get pushed back. Well, Liberators get taken out. Super Battery gets activated as well. Initially just to heal that Nexus back up. Here comes the Zealot flank. herO will be capable of cleaning up this Marauder force, I think. They're all very low. These Medivacs are low as well. The Liberator will stay alive for now. Here come the Zealots in, tanking these Liberator shots. Tanking the Marauder shots as well, which is also extremely important, of course. Marauders dealing extra damage to these Stalkers. However, with the reinforcements, now it truly is over. We have 11 Marauders, 12 Marines, 3 Medivacs and 2 Vikings against 2 Zealots and 4 Stalkers. There's no more Super Battery, there's no more third base. Armory is getting rebuilt. No, actually, nothing's happening with this armory. The Ghost Academy is still done. It actually gets cancelled. We see more mines on the way. We see an aggressive scan coming out of Dream. Another scan making sure that there is no other base. And at this point, Dream doesn't even need to kill anymore and can just go back home. We have 7 sentries. Now that's really cool, except that the Ghost exists. And the Ghost is one of these units that doesn't really care how many casters you have. A single EMP will hit everything anyway. So whether you have 1 sentry or 20 sentries, after the Ghost is done, you'll have 0 energy, no matter the amount of spellcasters. Fake Disruptor being built. Now a real Disruptor would be fantastic. But this fake Disruptor will not be capable of achieving anything. Maybe Dream gets so scared that he accidentally taps out of the game. We'll see that this is a hallucination. It's like, well, that was stupid. There's 4 Archons. This is an army that is so extremely weak against EMP right now. Good snipe on that sentry. There's 7 more though. Where's the EMP, boys? Where are them Ghost at? Where are them Ghost at? Woo! Poof! Big EMP on the majority of the sentries. Guardian Shields still go off though. The Archons are also quickly falling, and now the game truly is over. It felt like it's been over for 6-7 minutes already. herO kept on holding on. It felt like he was only going backwards as Dream ties up the series 1-1 in a fantastic game number 2. As we hop into our third game, it's just insane to think how that last game went. It's always so impressive to me. Oh, well, hello? What happened here? Did he just... I think that was a build order mistake. Like, this was a typo. He didn't change his mind. You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't know how to spell a word. Like a difficult word like mischievous. I'm not quite sure how to spell that. And then when I get called out for it, I'll say that it's a typo. You know, it's like I know how to spell it. I just made a mistake. I think in StarCraft 2 you always want to be doing the opposite. Because changing your mind in the early game is just really bad. Canceling a refinery like that. So you always say that it's a typo, or in this case just like a misclick. That's what we call it in StarCraft, of course. The typo of StarCraft 2. And it's a more honorable thing to admit to than to changing your mind like that. Wanting to go for a gas first with a proxy Rex and then changing your mind in the last second to just get a barracks before gas. That is just a really weird thing, and it shows a lack of preparation and not taking the tournament serious. And that is something that usually isn't respected within the StarCraft 2 circles. Look at that! Did you see that? That was kind of sick. He dodged that probe. I would not like the situation if I were actually building a Zealot anyway. It's not half bad. I wouldn't mind this if I were herO. This is completely fine. You'll get the bunker here. The barracks is reasonably far away. This is the beauty of not scouting and just getting a blind Zealot. Against stuff like this, it's actually not that bad. Stalker's being chrono boosted out, Warp Gate is on the way. It's going to be difficult to play Stargate from this point on out though. I actually believe the correct call in this type of scenario is not to fight the Zealot. I believe it is to still go into the main base with the Reaper, ignore the Zealot, then the Zealot needs to make a decision. Will I go for the bunker and the SCV, or will I go for the Reaper? If it goes for the bunker, your Reaper has free play in the mineral line for a decent period of time, let's say 17, 18 seconds, without any buildings stopping him, because all the buildings were over here. If the Zealot doesn't go for the bunker and goes for the Reaper, you can still just dodge the Zealot and your bunker will go up. So it's a win-win. A lot of Terrans, they decide to attack the Reaper, but usually you cannot kill the Reaper. So all you really do is deal some damage to a Reaper while you could have been killing probes and maybe even allowing yourself to get a bunker up. So yeah, incorrect call surely. Yeah, for sure here out of Dream. I really do believe that's an incorrect call. We do, however, have a Hellion on the way. I love these pylon walls here as well. This means that no matter what's going to happen, Reapers will not be capable of getting in towards the main base. I'm surprised that herO even has a Stalker in the main. Maybe this to deny scouting, but I'd much rather have that Stalker on the low ground to deal with these 3 Reapers and this Hellion. This is actually serious. This is a serious threat to his proc line right now. I think these Stalkers almost should be ignored. No, Stalkers are not being ignored. They're just being grenaded away. They're actually taking a fair chunk of damage here. 1 Stalker is going to fall. 1 Reaper ends up falling. Hellion stays alive. 2 probes also go down. Command center about to finish up. Barracks 2 and 3 on the way. And we have a Cyclone which is being cancelled. And instead will turn into a tank. And that is a fantastic call because he spotted the Twilight Council. But even if he wouldn't have spotted the Twilight Council and he would have seen 3 Stalkers this quick, he should have been capable of knowing, hey, this actually is not a Stargate, so I don't need that Cyclone. Idiots. I did not realize this was not a wall yet. I probably should have realized, but I was like, surely herO doesn't make mistakes like that. That is really silly. That actually is really, really silly. That is yeah. I don't know. I don't think that's intentional. I can't imagine a world in which this is intentional, so he made a bit of an oopsie there. That is definitely a bit of an oopsie. That actually is very threatening for the future. I'd say build like a pylon over here still, right now, if I were herO. That's what I would do. So at least you don't have to care about these Reapers. You don't have to think about these Reapers jumping in towards your main base. Behind this, by the way, this smells funky. It really does smell funky. Marauder production, stim, no combat shield, +1, no starport. This feels like a 3-Rex tank push, but you'd often do that with Marines, not with Marauders. So perhaps it isn't that. And we do indeed see a starport going down now. So very odd. Very, very odd. So defensive Marauders is the only thing I can really get to here right now, mentally, when it comes to strategies. Okay, both of these Reapers are going to fall. Blink is out already, so even if they would have started jumping down after they saw the first shot, they still would have been caught by the Blink Stalkers. Disruptor on the way as well. Okay. Disruptor is a good choice. If you're a little bit behind or you have a weird situation, Disruptor can sometimes turn things around. There was a very long period in StarCraft 2 in the past 1.5 years or so. I'm not quite sure if Zaun still does it, but whenever Zaun would get behind while playing Blink, he would always go into a single Disruptor and then follow it up with Charge. Single or 2 Disruptors and then into Charge, just like Charge, Stalker, Archon. And what he'd do is he'd move across the map just like this with a lot of Stalkers and then a Disruptor behind it. And then often what happens is that the Terran chases the Blink Stalker army away and then boom! Disruptor shot can be a very big deal. Can change the outcome of the game. I remember a game between Zaun and Maru on Lightshade in the GSL, which actually kicked Maru out of GSL. I want to say Season 2 or Season 1 last year. Very unfortunate for the young Terran. Oh my god, here comes a big hit. That is a huge hit. That was a crazy hit. Disruptor is going to fall, but that is completely worth it, taking out that much bio, especially if you're up in workers already. And this can be done over relatively low infrastructure. We're only on 5 gateways, a robotics facility, and a forge. So if you're trading away units right now, that is actually good. That is great. A big tech unit for taking out a chunk of the bio, yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. I love this Blink Stalker run by as well. This is going to be really painful. Another big Disruptor shot on the way, perhaps. 2 Disruptor shots. Oh my god, they're both going to hit. This is game. This is game. G gets called as Dream taps out. herO up 2-1 after a fantastic game number 3. And after a game like that, you can only think that herO needs to switch it up immediately. And, well, he's not really switching it up. Well, he's switching it up from the standard. It depends a bit what your perspective is, I guess. You say, well, switching it up in relation to the last game. This is not switching it up because it's going to be another proxy barracks. But if you say in relation to the default play of Terran, which often is the 1 barracks command center expand, yeah, this is definitely switching it up. It's an aggressive build. Dream really likes it. Last game it didn't really work out. I think partly due to him making the incorrect call with the Reaper. I'm going to ask some of my Terran friends about this though, because maybe they have a different perspective that I'm missing. Sometimes it is really easy to kind of get stuck in like some type of tunnel vision where you believe you're correct when you're really not correct. It's kind of easy to happen in StarCraft 2. But I don't see a reason for the Reaper to try and defend the bunker when it's obviously not possible to defend the bunker from the Zealot. I really believe sending it into the main base is always the superior call. This is a wall, by the way, that requires 3 big buildings. So in this case it's going to be Gateway, Cybernetic Core, and I'm assuming a Stargate with this fast double gas opener. See a Zealot? Now the Zealot is going to be cancelled, I think, because this is the same build order that we saw on Hardwire as well. The moment there is an SCV scout, I think you cancel the Zealot. I think that is what herO does. If there's no SCV scout, you don't cancel the Zealot. So he's going to cancel this last second. This is my feeling. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. I'm surprised. Wow. That's crazy. Sad is going to make its way across the map. herO completely blind first. Look at this! Look at this, he knows! Dream knows! Oh my god, I love this. And now the Reaper is here! What a brilliant play! A game-changing SCV over here. Stargate needs to be built on the low ground. This Stargate is about the same timing as you could have it with a regular Nexus into core type of build order. And now, oh my god, this is the worst thing, absolutely the worst thing that could have happened for herO here. He's losing worker after worker. He's built a Zealot, which is going to be incapable of doing anything if Dream just walls this off like he should. And 3 workers have gone down. Stargate delayed. The wall still is up as well. Let's not forget about that. Hellion, oh come on, you can't be serious. Dream, you saw the Zealot. No? That's a blunder. That's a huge blunder. Building the CC on the low ground, I think, is already a blunder. Luckily, just barely in time with the depot, though. Can't afford to lose this Hellion. If he loses this Hellion, I'm actually going to lose all of my hair. And I already have very little hair left. That would not be good. This SCV is not being hit by the Zealot. Sometimes it feels like the Zealot should be capable of hitting it, but then SCV is so deep into the construction of the building that apparently it's not possible. Not quite sure what the lore is there, but I think... Yeah, okay, Dream just spotted that it's a gold base. God, this is such a good situation for Dream right now. Oh no, but this isn't. But this isn't. Because this means that the CC... I don't think it's going to die. It's a little bit of trouble though, huh? It's a little bit of trouble. Oracle will be capable of taking care of this. This is... You knew it was going to be a Stargate. You even saw the Stargate already earlier. Did he? Or did he just spot it now? I think he was aware of it. This was ill-advised. This was not the correct call here. Ends up delaying his own command center by a lot. And loses all of his factory units, which would have allowed him to get some map control and split defensive forces around the 2 bases. Maybe even could have been helped as some extra padding in a potential Cyclone push. So there was a lot of potential here. Yeah, well, that's it. There was just a lot of potential here. And now that potential is gone. Dream still is up in workers. But we're on Pride of Altaris. There is a gold for herO, who's recalling a lot of workers right now to that gold. This is an 8 mineral patch gold. Most gold bases on competitive ladder maps only have 6 mineral patches. But for whatever reason on Pride, it's 8 mineral patches. That means that this base is completely busted. If a player has this base, he's just outmining the other one by so much. No matter how many mules there are on the map. We do have a second barracks on the way here. Tanks coming out as well. I really believe that this game should have almost been over in favor of Dream. But after losing these Hellions and getting his command center delayed for no real reason whatsoever, losing his Hellion and 2 Reapers, I should say, now I'm not even sure if he's ahead. We're going to see Phoenix production start. There's 3. Look how defensive these are positioned as well. Twilight Council Forge. Usually this would be odd, but because you have the gold, you're actually mining so much that this is basically 2.5 base eco. And then this makes a lot of sense. Gateways are going to be thrown down soon as well. We see the extra probes being chronoed out. I think a 3rd base is also still on the way, of course. At some point, herO is going to move across the map with all of these air units. And I have a bad feeling about it for Dream. I feel like Dream is just going to be caught out of position. If you're out of position for a millisecond here, 3 Oracles and 3 Phoenixes fly in, you'll lose everything. Everything that you love. Everything that you own. Oh, no, we're good. Revelation, Revelation. There we go. Good Revelation. Does he see the reactor? Sees the reactor, so knows that Stim most likely is on the way. Doesn't know how many barracks there are, though. Could be 2, could be 3. Probably knows there's no money for combat shield with this. So I wouldn't be too worried if I were herO here. Continued Phoenix production. 2.3k mineral income here per minute for herO. Against a mere 18 to 1900 of Dream. Infrastructure not looking too hot though. This just kind of shows how bad the eco position actually was for herO. It was pathetic. It really, really was quite bad. I love these stasis wards being placed right now. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. All of them will get triggered, I can only imagine, right? There's 1 more. He's not going to walk in that, right? He saw it. He saw all 3 being built. I'd be sad if he walks into that. I'd be real sad. There's nothing at the main base though, and with these Cyclones stuck in the... Oh my god, here we go. This is what I was talking about. Phoenixes take care of the Vikings, Oracles take care of these SCVs, and just like that, 10 SCVs have disappeared off the face of the earth. One of the Vikings also ends up falling. This Phoenix will get picked off. herO is an absolute god with these air units. He is better than anyone with air units. He's so quick. He's so solid. Yes, the macro behind it isn't always perfect, but it is definitely good enough this time around. And we have a very similar situation to that first game. I think it was on Hardwire. Phoenixes come in, charge lots come in. There's not enough anti-air anymore. GG gets called. herO wins this best of 5 with a 3-1 score. Fantastic gameplay. Really fun to watch this. And kind of inspiring. Got a lot of cool things out of here as a Protoss player. And as a Terran, I also got a lot of things out of it. So, you know, learning all around over here in this best of 5. I thank all of you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you, and bye-bye.